Sorry I don't sound perfect in this video. I have an upper respiratory infection, but I really had to make this video to expose Birthright and show how disgusting and cruel they are and how they robbed me of my $250 deposit at the worst time of my life. I was scheduled to go on the summer 2015 Israel Outdoors Birthright trip. It was lined up to also be very close to my 21st birthday. When I registered, I had every intention of going, thought it was going to be a very great cultural experience. I was mesmerized, just like a lot of people are, by those photos and how they advertise it, showing that it's going to be like the best trip ever. When I registered for the trip, I gave them a $250 deposit that was supposed to be refundable. I was supposed to get it back when I came back from the trip. Those were the rules. I looked back at the records in my emails, and the trip was supposed to be in June 2015 in the summer. They gave a cancellation deadline of April 8th, so I guess whoever canceled before April 8th, in writing, they got their deposit refunded to them. But like in life, things don't always happen according to a contract deadline. This part really, it shatters because, I don't like to talk about it, but I have to get into why this happened and why Birthright is just the devil. I woke up one day paralyzed before the trip. It was like a few weeks before. And it's not something someone can plan for, No one wakes up thinking that their legs are just going to stop functioning. They're not going to be able to move them whatsoever. No one thinks of that. It was literally the worst thing that ever happened in my life. This is literally burning me inside that I even have to talk about it. But in the interest of exposing them for who they are, I have to give the details because that's the fair and the right thing to do. I'm not hiding anything. It's all transparent. I even have records of everything that happened. I was so desperate, going from urgent care to ERs, to primary, to specialists. I can't even tell you how many doctors I went to, because I had one goal at that time, and thank God my family was helping me. Seriously, thank God so much, thank them. They were taking me from place to place. I was looking for 1 ounce of hope. That's it. Just someone to say that I can heal, that I can get my life back. That's it. Turns out that the cold-blooded devils of Birthright, they don't care about extreme situations like mine. It doesn't matter to them because it doesn't fit in the specified criteria of their paperwork. I emailed Birthright what happened. I even have records, and I even contacted my bank trying to make a complaint to get the money back, the deposit, the $250, and it didn't work. I lost it. The notorious witch herself, Lauren Kroll, I think she was the organizer of Israel Outdoors, she emailed back to the complaint and the bank, and she CC'd me on it. She wrote the most template-looking smart-ass email ever. She wrote, basically, with no remorse, I missed the deadline to cancel. I agreed to the terms, which included a cancellation date of April 8, blah, 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 all of this, that I signed up and I didn't make it to the trip, essentially. And then, that's it. I forfeited the deposit. That's what she said. I didn't forfeit. I didn't have a choice. I couldn't even freaking walk. Not enough, I woke up one day not even being able to move my legs, paralyzed from the waist down. I also got a bunch of other extreme health problems that arose from that paralysis. And the disgusting thieves at Birthright only had one goal: to steal my deposit, because they have no morals whatsoever or respect. Any reasonable human being would have said, you know what? That's a terrible, messed up situation. Take that $250. You need it more than us. They have a wait list. They had a ton of people who easily could have taken my place and they would have got a $250 deposit from them, but they chose to steal mine. That $250 could have helped me in my medical bills. I didn't have a lot of money. I really didn't. And those medical bills were really expensive. This year, 2022, marks that it'll be 7 years since I was paralyzed, and I'm still recovering. And thank God that I was able to recover to where I did now. I can walk. I'm very thankful. You wouldn't even believe, anybody watching this does not even understand how thankful I am that I can even walk, that I can sit down on a chair, that I can get up, that I can pet my dog, that I can walk my dog. The little things really make so much of a difference in life. And I can't even go into a full explanation because it's just really hard to talk about. But I thank God all the time. I thank my family that they helped me to get to this point, that I can more or less function. And so much love and appreciation to the one doctor who actually gave my family and I hope that I would walk and I'd recover. He's a true legend, and There's not enough words to describe my appreciation and the love that my family and I have for this guy, because he's the only doctor who gave hope, and I would have not probably recovered ever if it wasn't for him. He was such a gentle and caring person. He never let someone fall or feel like they weren't going to make it in a hard process. Even if they stopped believing, he didn't let them believe that they were going to fail. He is a spirit of an angel, really. Compare that to the other doctors who gave me bad news, and to the urgent care, the first doctor that I saw. The guy straight up looked me in the face, smiling, said I would never walk again. Started crying, cried my eyes out, my soul out. My mom looked at me, started crying, and then he laughed. He just laughed at us, and then he left. Luckily, that demon, that I hope his license goes away and he'll never be a doctor again, luckily he was wrong. But I still have a long way to go to get to being fully recovered to how I was before the paralysis. But I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep going and doing my best to try my best to make a full recovery. With God's help, hopefully that'll be a possibility. And I'm not going to stop hating Birthright. What they did was messed up, beyond belief. You know, Birthright likes to advertise themselves like this heavenly trip where everyone's smiling all the time and having fun and meeting new friends and all of that. I'm sure that's not the way it is for everyone, but they're very good at advertising. They're good at deceiving people, and they only have one goal, is to get people on the trip. They probably make money off that or something. Otherwise, they wouldn't do it. But that's all they care about, the money. Clearly, in my case, deposit. That's all they wanted. And it was really stupid that Birthright kept sending me emails, texts, and calls for literally years between the different organizers like my Note, Israel Outdoors, and different ones in Taglit themselves and stuff. I have literally years of emails and stuff that they kept bugging me with. Like, do they really think that I'm going to forgive them and be stupid enough to give them another $250 after they robbed me the first time? Hell no. I'm not stupid. I learned my lesson once. I'm not forgiving them. I literally told them that I hate them. They're thieves. They stole my money. And then they finally stopped. And I've told them tons of times before that, take me off the list. I'm not going on. Take me off. Take me off. They don't listen. Until I didn't tell them how much I hate them, they did not take me off that list. And then, even after that, randomly, there was a time period where they still sent me some other emails, texts, and calls. It was just abnormally messed up and stupid. Birthright should legitimately be ashamed of themselves for how they treat people like this. And Israel should be ashamed of Birthright and not let them do these kind of things to people. But for some reason they did. And hopefully one day that stops. And Birthright to me are just imposters, putting a bunch of pictures of people smiling. And then, you have the bad reviews. Go look up the bad reviews. Do that before you join the trip. Because you deserve to see more than just an advertisement of two people smiling at the beach. Go look at the people who say they were sleep deprived. Look at the people who said that there was terrible nutrition over there. Look at the people who said they landed in the hospital and got treated bad. There are so many mad reviews on them. You just have to look and find them. And it's not hard. Look for the organizers, like the one I was supposed to go is Israel Outdoors. Look for my Note. Look for Birthright, Taglit Birthright. Just look it up and look for the bad experiences. You deserve to see the whole picture before you go on there. And if you had a bad experience with them too, write down in the comments. Let other people know about it so that other people don't get hit the way that we did by them. I don't even want to go to Israel anymore because of Birthright, and I definitely don't want anything to do with Birthright at all in my life. And I know I should have made this video earlier, but just understand, I'm not someone who is able to talk about the most chronic struggle that happened in my life to everybody around me. I only talk to those that I felt safe and comfortable with, those who are closest to me, those that I trust. But at the interest of showing who these people are behind Birthright and their actions, showing that to the rest of the world, that's why I'm making this video. That gave me the strength to talk about it, because 7 years and I'm still recovering. This was the worst thing I ever went through in my life. And I have the doctor records, I got the email records, I have video proof of how I was. I got it all. Birthright can just sit ashamed of themselves if they even feel any emotions, those cold-blooded people. That's all they can do now. because now hopefully this video will show people a side of Birthright that maybe they didn't know. And then really I encourage, go look at the other bad experiences of people before you make the decision of going or not. And if you already went and had bad experience, like I said before, put in the comments, put it on Yelp, do what you got to do, let people know.